Hello guys and girls. First of all, I'd like to apologise that it's taken me over 2 days to record the next part of this Q&A session. What had happened is I did the first 2 parts, thought I'd upload it onto the internet and start filming the other parts, but as it was uploading the laptop got a bit warm and the fans kicked in and it got picked up on camera, so I thought, I don't know, I'll have a little break and I'll have a few more beers, because as I said in the previous video, I was drinking and time would come to film again. I was pretty pissed. I did actually start answering some more questions and then I had to stop myself. I played it back and it was horrible, so I deleted it. I know a few of you might think, actually somebody answering questions drunk could be funny. It isn't, because it takes me about 15 minutes to answer each question and I really just start going off on a right rant. And I'm a cocky twat when I've had a drink as well, so I didn't enjoy it. It's deleted and we're going to start again 2 days later. So, alright, picking up where we left off, it was Retro Roadshow and he's asking, do I believe in aliens? Definitely. There's no way of a universe this big that you can't have other life forms out there. I don't know if it's going to be intelligent life forms, but I still think there's chances of both normal life forms and intelligent, just because it's a far too big a place for it to just be us. The next one is, do you believe they live among us? No. Few people I have met, I would say, could be aliens, but no, I don't think they are. And the third question is, what do you think their favourite game styling would be? Well, I think they would be into driving simulators, because it might be a good joke to them actually playing a game going, God, they're stuck on this damn thing called gravity and they have to go across tarmac when they can just teleport across the stars. So I think they'll play that just to take the piss out of us a little bit. So no, cheers for them questions, that was something different. Right, we got Red Hop Tea, Hoplite even, or another name butchered, just chalk it up to that. What video games do you remember as a childhood or early video gaming years that made an impression on you and made you become a gamer? Well, that's definitely got to be, it's not the earliest memories, but what turned me into a gamer, I think, is because I absolutely love multiplayer. That's what makes me play games mostly, and it's got to be Duke Nukem. When I was in school, we used to play Duke Nukem after, well, when school had finished, we had like a gaming club and we used to play Duke Nukem. And I know you could play multiplayer games back on like PlayStation 1 and stuff like that, but it was a case of either going split screen, if you was lucky, and you could have the system link or whatever it was called, where you had 2 TVs. Fair enough, you could play it that way, but I could never afford 2 TVs and 2 PlayStations, and friends would never buy the cable because who would own the cable? So I never had the proper multiplayer experience until I was at school and the teacher just simply says, oh, we play Duke Nukem at night. I was like, well, that sounds good, I'll play some of that. And then turned it on and everyone's all sat there going, you read it, right? And they all clicked in and I just saw the screen come up with all the names. I went, what the hell's going on? And next minute, obviously we're all playing together, and it just blew my mind as a kid. I was like, this is gaming. And we're having the fun of people shouting behind you going, oh, you bugger, and all this lot, and then everyone kicking off, and you was like, nah, this is next level gaming. And that really got me interested in actually playing online and for the next set of games that came out. So that's definitely what shaped me as a gamer, Duke Nukem. Alright, next question. Mr. Xerox 123. Where do you work? That's the big Q. Well, I work for, well, I don't matter who I work for. I work in a data centre. If you don't know what one is, chuck it into Google Images and that is what a data centre is. And it's practically just a massive warehouse that we house loads and loads of servers. There's thousands of servers in there. And all this is just for companies. For instance, if you go and buy a game from GameStation or GameSpot, whatever it be, when you buy something, obviously it's going to keep its transaction details somewhere away, and it's not normally going to be their own computers, because if something blew up or someone was very pissed off at work and wants to delete everything, then you would lose everything, and obviously you couldn't return games then because they wouldn't know you even purchased it in the first place. So like by law they have to have everything backed up to high heavens. So what they do is we host all different companies, UK, we've got some American stuff, bits of everything, banks, All bits under the one roof, and I have to go around making sure everything backs up correctly, making sure all the servers are working as they should be, and making these really weird 3D representations of the actual data center, because the security is so high people can't just wander in there. So sometimes they need to see what's in it, but can't actually go in there, so they have to go through all my 3D diagrams and stuff. So that's practically what I do. I really do enjoy it. It's only about 7 minutes down the road on my bike. And it's just a fascinating job, and I'm constantly on my feet, always moving around. I've done a few technical jobs where I've just been sat at the end of a phone, or call centre work, and I think you can only work in a call centre for about 3 or 4 years before it completely breaks you and just smashes your spirit to bits. So I've got out of that. I'm into working in a data centre now, and I love it. So that's a pretty good question. Right, move it on. We've got SNES-tastic. What's your favourite game so far this generation? Well, first of all, I've done this 2 videos beforehand, and I've also done this video pissed and deleted it. So I'm kind of confused what answers I'd give. But in between this will happen, I think, after only playing it for 2 days, but 2 days solid, this could be one of my favourite games of all time. I forced myself to get back into it because I had a dabble, I enjoyed it, had to give it back. And then when I found it the other day, I think it was dirt cheap, like £6 or something like that. I thought, I know everyone says it's an absolute epic game and it needs to be played, and I thought, I'm going to do it. And because I've had like a hangover for the last 2 days, I've just sat and played nothing but that, and I am very, very impressed. I do like RPGs, and this is just so much more than what I expected of the game. I expected just normal decisions, do this and do that. And I've put the controller down a few times. I said, Joe, I can't believe they put me in this situation. I don't know what to pick. I don't know if I should do this, whether this affect that, or I don't want him to die. And it's really is starting to become my best game. So I would have to say that. I know it's stupid saying it after 2 days, but that's what love is, isn't it? It's the honeymoon period at the moment. So as of yet, this is my best game. I think you've got a second question. If you had to choose one console that most people hated to play for the rest of their life, which would it be and why? I don't know if I just said this is from SNES-tastic. If I didn't, I've said it again. It's going to have to be the 3DO, mate. Simply because I never had one, and my friend had a 3DO, and it was just before Christmas when he got his, and I didn't even, this is before like PlayStation and stuff like that, I didn't really know that much about consoles. I used to just play what I could get my hands on, and I remember seeing this 3DO, playing a few games, going back home saying to Mum, right, I need a 3DO, and because it was coming up to Christmas, obviously I wanted it on my wish list, and she's going, no, you don't want a 3DO, dear, you really don't want a 3DO, and I was like, I do. But then on Christmas morning I opened a PlayStation 1, and luckily enough I wasn't gutted. I didn't go, snap, I've got the wrong console here. I was just like, yeah, games, and played it, and the rest was history. I've never really looked back at the 3DO since then, so I'll probably have to say that. I'd love to get my hands on it again and actually find out what I did miss. So that's a pretty good question, dude. Alright, this one, first of all, I'm going to have to apologise now because, well, you'll see why. And this comes from Emo Joe 1990. And the first question is, if you could play one PSP game for the rest of life, what would it be? Can't answer you, because I've never played a PSP game. I'm not a massive handheld gamer. I'm definitely just all about consoles. I've started to get more into handhelds with the DS and stuff like that now, but I've never ever played a PSP game in my life, so I couldn't pick that one. Second one is, what SNES game would you like to be re-released on 3D or 2.5D? I've only had a SNES since Christmas, and I've just got Excite Bike and Mario, so I really can't have an opinion on that one, I'm afraid. And the third question is, do you think the Virtual Boy is really bad console? I've never played the Virtual Boy either. This makes me sound like a fraud. What's this man doing on YouTube talking about games and consoles when he's never played such things? But no, I have not even played the Virtual Boy, never even had it in my hands. So I'm afraid I can't answer all three of your questions, which I really do apologise, but thank you very much for submitting them. Right, we've got Agent TK 1986. Which decade do you think is the best for gaming and why? It's got to be the 90s, because I was born in the 80s, so anything around that time I would have been way too young for. And then obviously within the 90s that would have sculptured me as a gamer. And definitely because I I left school in 2000, so yeah, I would have had my Duke Nukem period and phase in the 90s, all the PlayStation 1 stuff. So definitely, to me, if it weren't for the 90s, then I probably would have been these old people at work going, don't see what people get out of this gaming. Right, and you've got 2 questions actually. What is your favourite TV show from your childhood? Tom and Jerry. There's no 2 ways about it. Even from time to time now, I'll go on YouTube and watch a few episodes of Tom and Jerry, and it's obviously got to be the old Tom and Jerry. And if you just look at that, the levels of detail they put into their cartoons and how long they will go to try and actually get a gag in there, it's absolutely brilliant. But just the quality of the cartoon, when you're a kid you didn't notice, you just went, yeah, bright pictures and everything like that. But compare that to anything else around the time, it's just way better than anything. So yeah, Tom and Jerry's got to be up there. Alright, we've got Into Ghost now, saying, what is your main collection focus? Well, I'm definitely not going to be collecting sets, so that's ruled that out. What my main collection focus is because the 360 is my favourite console, and with me being so skint over the past year, I've sold all my games, and some of them was absolutely gems. So the idea is to just build the 360 catalogue back up again and then stop selling games. I've sold the odd game already this year, and that's only because it's a brand new game. I can get good money for it, and I will buy it back once it drops. But yeah, definitely my main focus is to build that shelf up of 360 games again. You have 2 questions, and I've lost you somewhere on this sheet. There you are. Will we ever see Joe? Well, I think we'll see parts of Joe. I think if we're lucky from time to time and a cup of tea comes in, we might get as far as that. I'm planning to do some more videoing outside the house just to break it up a bit, because I think people will get bored after a bit seeing this same square shot. So when I start going out looking at car boots and doing things like that, I'm going to start going out filming. With that happening, I think you'll get to catch sides of Joe and stuff like that. But I think if it's ever going to be a full-on face shot, obviously Joe's going to have to say yes or no if it can go on YouTube or not. And I think majority of the times it's going to be a no. So it all depends. I don't know. At one day she may look at it and go, well, that's a flattering side to my face. I did enjoy that. That can go on YouTube. And when that day happens, I think everyone will know about it, because there'll be a massive name saying Joe's face. So yeah, stick it as a no at the moment, but we never know. Right, we've got Scott Lewis Gaming Blog. Do you think 3D gaming has a future? Yes. Next question. No. Yes, I think it has a future, but I hope it doesn't. I think when it comes down to like 3DS and stuff like that, I'm fine with, because you haven't got weird glasses and it works in your hands, and that's fine. But I don't like this 3D TV bollocks. I would never buy a 3D TV, simply because if there's a TV in the living room, if people come round and we're all having a cup of tea and stuff like that, I don't want to be sat there with glasses on, so when I occasionally look at the news it's going to be in 3D. 3D movies, I've been seeing 1 or 2. I saw Beowulf and that was absolutely brilliant. I enjoyed it, but I think it needs to just stay at the movies. I don't think it needs to go into gaming. But on the other hand, to me, I like to be submerged into a game, and I know by making it 3D that's going to give us that extra element, and we're going to be like, right, we really are in this game. But I don't know why, I just don't like it. I don't want it to happen. So I think it's got a future, but I hope it doesn't. Right, we've got Sushi Sunshine 2000. What's your fappet? What's your favourite Japanese animes? God, I've stopped drinking 2 days ago. I still think it's got effects. What's your favourite Japanese anime series? Movie. Sorry. Well, I don't watch that much anime stuffs, but one thing I'm absolutely fan of is, I think it's Studio Gilby. Somebody's probably sat there now shouting at the screen going, you fool. But yes, the ones who did like Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away and stuff like that, that's just mind-blowing, that is. Yeah, so like I say, I'm not a massive fan of it, so I can't really rant too much about it. But when I first watched it, Spirited Away, I was like, this is something different. I could really get into this, and I got Howl's Moving Castle. And it's one of them things that I've gone, I need to get more of this, and I never actually have. So it's a good point bringing that up. I think I'm going to have to do a bit more research and get some more movies on that. But Studio Gilby or Gilby, that is my favourite. Right.